taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut, season off top, you stop breathing.
They'll be like, yeah, this episode.
Yeah. What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hello, this episode is brought to you by Pulpery. I mean, what it do, man? It's LB, Lauderdale Boss, aka Shuttleworth the God, the GOAT artist, Mr. Put the artwork on your timeline. What it do? The world is out. RingGangRadio.com in the building. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Box in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's go.
Yeah, we anyone banned from the bodega?
Oh yeah. I forgot. Okay. First off, Rick Meridian is banned from the bodega.
Yes,
this dude is going on Twitter too much, fighting with people over the ticket sales that were non-existent for the Ramirez fight, and he knows he's wrong, but he just won't shut his freaking mouth. So I'm tired of you. You make every tweet about you. Nobody cares about you.
Yeah, didn't he use like a gay slur on a tweet and then delete it?
Yes. I mean, yes, that too. But
hold on, is this the one where all the like it showed all the like the ticket comps and it's like 9,000?
Yes. And he's just very, very angry and just won't stop making this about himself. Like everything. Like nobody cares about you. Like
that explains why so many people went to that fight, because watching it on TV, you're like, damn, there's a lot of niggas in here. You know they black curtained off certain parts, but it still looked like a full arena. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, there's too many people for a pay-per-view stacked card like Planet Benavidez for you motherfuckers to be here like this.
Yeah. And then and it turns out, it was he gave away like 9,000 comp tickets. Who the fuck does that?
Of course, dude. Look, if I have the choice between a good seat for Comey Ramirez live, be there, real boxing event, or stay home and watch Planet Benavidez, I'll probably go to the live boxing event.
I mean, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. But
so I get it, but that's the only way you're gonna do that. You're not just gonna leave Planet Benavidez like.
Yeah, so sorry, somebody got caught capping.
Yeah, you liar. And also,
get him out the bodega, P.
Yep. Last but certainly not least, all of these racist, covert racist motherfuckers about these women's basketball and she was classless for
yeah. Fuck them niggas. Yeah, ban them motherfuckers.
You're out of here. You're banned permanently. No.
Yes.
You will not be allowed here because. You will not be like, oh, well, you were classless. No, I know what you're doing. You're on that covert racist shit. We know what you're trying to say. We don't approve of that. Fuck you.
Real shit. We don't accept that shit with Ring Gang. But hey, Angel Reese, I got a special VIP section in my bodega just for your ass, girl.
Angel Reese is welcome anytime. And even the white girl is welcome because she was like, it's part of the game. I ain't worried about it. Let her talk. Like, she knows.
Caitlin Clark's a beast. That chick's a beast.
Yeah. It just shows me that some of y'all have never played sports, because if you did, you would know that's part of the game. B, y'all are just racist as fuck. So
listen, during the game, it was probably saying way more crazy shit than that.
Oh, and that definitely goes for Barstool Sports owner, because he showed his ass plenty of times, and now this is the final straw. I'm done. Like, I'll never support that cracker ass brand.
Cracker ass cracker.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So So you heard my man Bodega P, man. Y'all are banned from the bodega until further notice. And I also got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's really fly? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, West Coast Avenger, #1 contender, chilling in the bodega, but Destination's Ring Gang Radio. Let's get it. Let's fly.
Yes, sir. Chilling with his bowl of rice and spoon. Can you dig it? Yes, sir. And then last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what's good? You already know who the fuck it is. Your boy Rome Top 5 in this motherfucker. Ring Gang, nigga. We here again, another week. We still doing this shit, nigga. We not stopping. We not.
Yes, sir. Rome Top 5, aka Chicago, because he leaves these niggas in the breeze. That is of course when he's not drinking his pizza over there they have in Chicago. But that's neither here or there.
Nigga, tourists eat that pizza, nigga. Ask any Chicago nigga if you go to a Chicago nigga's house on a Friday night and they order deep dish, that nigga's not from Chicago. I promise you.
So what holiday do y'all eat that on then? Since it's only
you eat that shit. You eat deep dish when you go out to eat with your family to a restaurant, nigga. You never order deep dish and bring that shit somewhere with you, nigga. That shit is spilled. What the fuck?
God, it's messy like that? Shit.
Nigga, it's sauce on top of a pizza. It's not even in it. It's on top of it. Like, why the fuck? You slice it, the sauce is pouring out. It's like a fucking runny egg, nigga.
Yes, sir.
Whose idea was that? That had to be
I don't like deep dish. It's just a Chicago delicacy, nigga. I don't like it.
That's why that joke hit when I said it.
Fuck you.
It's like a runny egg pizza. What the fuck?
But
the sauce pour out like it's
that's for y'all niggas that's not from the place, nigga. We get the real deal. We know what the fuck to order. Y'all don't.
I know now. Shit.
I'll take your word for that one, Rome.
Yeah, I'm good. Heavy ass 5,000 ass calorie pizzas.
It's good though.
It is, when you're high, especially. But yes, it is good, But yeah, we, on the show today, we got some previews. But before we get into those, we got some recaps, particularly the biggest fight this weekend, and the one where one fighter got a lot of criticism for it, and I couldn't even disagree with it. Of course, it was Anthony Joshua and Jermaine Franklin. Now, we all know Anthony Joshua is, trying to get back in the win column after losing back-to-back fights to Alexander Usyk. So most of us and pretty much the whole fans were like, okay, good. Franklin, he gave a good showing to White, so he'll be a good opponent for Joshua to not, to eventually KO. And then plus, he hooked up with a new trainer and everything like that. And he's, it looks like he was like ready. Everyone's like, oh, he's putting
that shit. That didn't mean shit.
Yeah, it really didn't.
And it should have though, but that's the problem. It should have meant some shit.
He need Barry Hunter, son.
Nigga, that shit was Bum Fights Volume 23. Like that nigga wasn't even putting no work. Like that shit was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, because I know sometimes it does take a while for a fighter to click with a new trainer, give or take. Because
but you don't forget everything you learned ever,
right? And in this fight, it was like when we criticized Jarrett Hurd when he had Cake Roma in his corner, and he looked like he couldn't like figure out what the fuck he wanted to do. Did he want to go back to his old style? Or did he want to box, which he was mid at? And it made for an incredibly horrible fight.
Yeah.
But a safe fight for him because he didn't take unnecessary shots. At least not all the rounds. This fight, it was like Joshua was the bigger guy, and the one thing I did raise my eyes at was the fact that dude was 255 pounds, which was his heaviest of his career. So I'm like, what the fuck were they doing in camp? Because that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of fucking weight.
They wasn't taking a nigga seriously, is what they was doing.
Yeah, but the thing is, because when you hear Derek James, because Derek James is trainer of the year, he has champions in his camp and everything like that. So it's like, I'll expect him to at least be in the 240s, at least like somewhere around there, or to even low 230s. But 255 was just like, what the fuck were they doing?
Yeah, that nigga looked swollen on his ring walk. That nigga, I was like, yo, this nigga look a little full, nigga. You had a meal before you came out here? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he probably did, and that's the problem was and he sure as hell fought like it because he fought like he was trying to conserve his stamina,
just holding himself, just standing in one spot, looking at the nigga. I'm like, yo, this shit is dead. What the fuck? This nigga used to be champ. What the fuck?
I mean,
shout out to Henny Guy Slick. What it do? Shout out to Android. Yo, damn, hey, what it do, Beth? Salute
to all of y'all.
Yeah, I gotta disagree, Android. Joshua didn't look bad, but didn't impress. Nah, he looked bad. Like,
listen, this is exactly what Pat was talking about when we did the interview. How some fighters, when they lose, they can't bounce back, and they're never the same fighter. That's how I feel about Joshua. I feel like he hasn't been the same since he took that loss to Ruiz.
Yeah, in a way you were. But thing is though, when he actually had the Ruiz rematch, I mean, first of all, it looked like he dropped a lot of weight. He was like in his 230s, and he had a plan. And Ruiz pretty much ate himself out of his titles. So it wasn't like he boxed.
That wasn't a prove yourself type of. It was a prove yourself fight that Ruiz kind of gave to him in a sense.
It did. I'm not gonna lie to you, and that's the reason why I always I as much as I like Ruiz and his fighting, I always say this dude was talented, but his condition always held him back. And then allowed Joshua to pretty much box his head off on some 11-1 shit and get his titles back. You know, but the Usyk fight was different. First of all, I thought he fought better in the Usyk fights than he fought with Franklin. Franklin, it was like he didn't want to throw. He jabbed and he was holding a whole lot. He was initiating a lot of the clinching, which was driving me mad. I was like, you don't need to do that. Like, just pump your jab up.
He was getting buzzed too much by a little nigga.
Yeah, because when Franklin got in there, Franklin was getting his shots off, and I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking about, I'm over here just when I was like, please don't go stanky leg for one of his shots. Don't go stanky leg.
He felt like he was going to. He felt like he was going to. That's why he didn't.
He knew it. That's why he was holding. Because this is the thing. Franklin punches hard enough and clean enough. He's a sharp puncher, and he was throwing the right punches. Like, he was throwing the overhand. He was throwing all the punches we was screaming at Killer Plant to throw at Benavidez. Mm-hmm. If you want to be honest about it, he fought a more menacing fighter than Benavidez. Shit,
he did.
Joshua, I'm sorry, that's a pre-pause. That's a big intimidating motherfucker, but he don't believe it no more.
I was mad why he didn't throw his uppercut. Even later in the fight when he was holding, he threw one eventually, but I was just like, goddamn, throw your uppercut once, bro. Throw that was your signature punch.
He didn't know what to do. It's like. And he just fought at this worthless pace, and you could tell it's like he would get clocked with a good shot, and he would smile, then he would fire back. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was ready for the counters that Franklin was landing after he would land the right hand.
And I was mad though that Franklin had his nose bleeding after the first round. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
His nose, it wasn't like it was bleeding. Like, what the fuck?
He had him leaking.
Yeah.
He had him leaking, and the trainers even asked his corner asked him. They was like, "Yo, nigga, you all right?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I got it." Like, nah, nigga. They even knew he didn't look good. They knew, even his corner knew he didn't look good out there.
It was his first.
Joshua ain't really win no rounds to me, clearly, until I think the 5th round or so. The early rounds, he looked horrible. And the commentary, they kept just giving Joshua everything for landing one decent shot every minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah, they was dick sucking. Pause.
They really were, because I thought Franklin was the busier guy and dictated at least the majority of the first half of the fight.
He didn't dictate nothing, but he was in it. He wasn't dictating, but he wasn't.
Joshua wasn't dictating anything either.
They were mostly just. They were standing. They were standing in the middle of the ring, just looking at each other, pretty much, for a majority of the round.
Franklin was working more than Joshua.
I feel like Joshua was kind of lackadaisical at times, and would try to just pump out the jab and whatnot. But then anytime he would get landed on with a sharp right, it was like he reset everything. He was
like, all right, let me chill. I don't want to get hit no more. Let me chill.
It was a hard reset. It feels like Andy Ruiz shell shocked him, kind of like Broner did. Madan did a Broner. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. If Franklin actually had more power, then it would have been bad for Josh. This would have been a whole.
He was fighting like he didn't want to get surprised again.
Nah, man. I feel like watching this fight, this version of Joshua, any of the top 10 heavyweights, are close friend of the show, Johnny Rice. Look up. A lot of people can compete with this.
Yeah. I don't know. Wilder will probably get his name back fighting Joshua and knocking him off his fucking rocker. Why
you think I had the poll?
Let's get that Wilder fight going so Wilder can be back on top of the world. Because Wilder pieced this nigga the fuck up, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not trusting Joshua right now, man. You take it to the brink like that by Franklin and getting buzzed multiple times. You
think Wilder would have struggled with Franklin like that? Hell
Yes. Yes.
no.
I don't, yes, he would.
He might.
No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have.
I don't know. It's a different type of fight. I think
Franklin would have been trying to survive the whole fight. He wouldn't have been able to stand
that's
in
true.
there.
That's why I said it's a different type of fight. Wilder wouldn't have held and tried to like. Wilder would literally go balls for the walls at some point.
Head hunting.
Yeah, like you know what would have happened? A Gerald Washington moment would have happened or attempted to happen. Because I don't know how Franklin will respond. He has a chin, so I'm not just writing him off. But Wilder would have definitely sold out before he hear that fucking final bell.
I mean, even people with chins like could get cold clocked by Wilder. So like,
yeah,
but
like I give it. But remember, Franklin would be one of the toughest people he's fought. We got to give him that credit too.
That's also very true.
Because ain't like Wilder is fighting a bunch of durable iron chin David Tua ass motherfuckers now.
No, I get it. I'm not arguing against that. I'm not disagreeing with that. So like I'll concede that.
Yeah, but yeah, and the thing is, at least we know Wilder, but it's the whole fighting aspect. You know, Wilder at some point, if he's getting outboxed or he's not setting up something, he's gonna just go for it. Like whether he looks sloppy bad or he's gonna go for it. Joshua never goes for it, and it's like, dude, you have all these advantages, and like you don't go for it. Like you're afraid.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, now I think it's just, I think he's pretty much, I think he's clearly in his head. He probably needs like one of those sports psychologists or whatever the fuck.
Puts too much pressure on himself. Like he literally does that every fight.
I mean,
he has to look better. Has to look this.
Because before that, because he was saying that if he lost to Franklin, he would retire, and I think that's when he put that pressure on himself. That's when it's like, okay,
and he lost the event.
Well, I mean,
he didn't win that.
I don't know. I felt like he fought confused a lot. Like he didn't know whether he wanted to just box or whether he wanted to push the pace. He was a boxer without a country. Like it was not
a king without a crown.
Yeah.
No, we know his crown been got took, pilot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
King P's analogy hit more.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, it was easily his worst offensive performance I've ever seen. Like in those fights, like I mean, it was worse than the Parker fight, and that Parker fight was a little bit pensive too. But this one was even worse than that.
This is much worse than the Parker fight. Because at least Parker has experience, and he's like more comparable to Joshua's size, like
right.
And he's a harder puncher than Franklin. Like if we're doing 1 through 10 for power, Parker's more in the 8 range. Franklin's more in the 6.5, 6 to 7 range.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta respect that. But damn, nigga, like you leaning on the guy, and you know, fuck that goddamn referee, nigga, because he was on the same shit, because he was damn arguing with Franklin, getting at him, and
yeah, he was.
Yeah, Franklin.
Whenever Franklin would push him off, it's like, dude, acting like a bitch. Like, fuck that referee.
Maybe Franklin's better than we thought, though. I don't know.
He is.
He
is. I mean, he took punches from White and Joshua without going down. So you at least he has something.
He didn't get right.
And he make him miss. Like he has skills. Like he was countering and rolling the shot, slipping and sliding and shit.
I wonder if we'll see him again. Like, I wonder if his name's big enough to headline a decent card out here. I mean, I don't know. Those fights, maybe not.
Give him the right opponent. Get Frank Sanchez versus Jermaine Franklin. That's a main event.
Yeah. He should join PBC or something. He can get some fights. You know, co-main or main some cards at least, maybe.
Yeah, no, Franklin has some talent, and I mean, right now, I mean, I'm happy that he probably got some lifestyle changing money for
the career fight. He said he was working at a warehouse before this, literally before the call. So he's, I
think, for the Dylan White, for like 2 fights changed his life.
Yeah, he got money. So I mean, although he took the losses, I mean, he shouldn't have. I mean, he definitely should have beaten White on the cards. And I mean, Joshua. I mean, Joshua did win the fight. I mean, there was no. Yeah. I mean, he did win it.
He took over in the second half. The only thing Franklin could have done better, honestly, in my opinion, is he respected Joshua too much on the inside and on the clinches. Like he should have really been backing off and tearing up Joshua's body and really rest. Like me personally, I would have fucking uppercut Joshua in the balls, yo.
But why Joshua only throw one uppercut? Speaking of uppercuts, what the fuck? That was used to be a signature punch.
Countered, dude. He was so look. If he would have fucking got countered with a left hook for that uppercut, yeah, he would have. Yeah, he wasn't ready for that. He was. Remember, that's how Ruiz got him.
So Ruiz got him, but I'm saying that's your butter punch. You're not gonna throw it. You're not gonna throw it.
He was getting countered too much by Franklin with the right hand.
Yeah.
Dude, he was literally getting hit for two combos for every right hand he landed.
Yeah, true.
While having a longer reach. If Franklin would have been able to kind of draw the right hand in more and kind of lean like roll it better or evade it so he could counter.
Yeah, he was doing good, but he just didn't have the skills to outbox Joshua in that sense. Like
he needed that. Like, he needed to outfight him.
He was able to counter, but he wasn't able to counter, then bait, then counter. Like keep doing it. Right.
He's a little, he's just a big dude. I mean,
it's the boxing. Look, Franklin boxed good.
Yeah.
But what he did is the fighting part that let him down. He at one point when Joshua was doing all the holding and the ref, and none of that was going to change or anything was going to happen. And Joshua was getting tired and he's laughing and he was getting lackadaisical and he was getting confused. That's when Franklin got frustrated and out of his game and started saying, fuck this nigga, and started ripping combos in the clinch and getting angry with dude and fighting him. Like Franklin boxed as well as he could for that fight, and he won the little boxing moments where he wasn't overpowered.
No, he
needed to fight.
Yeah, he had to fight. He was trying to complain about the ref saying he was fighting 2 against 1. It felt like that's what Franklin was.
He was, and that's why he needed to fight.
He needed to make it ugly.
I would have fucking hit Joshua in the fucking below the belt. Then yeah, now you're gonna respect me in these clinches. You're not gonna be ready to clinch me like that and take away some of that. And Joshua wasn't body punching, so yeah, he would have zapped him with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, no, good effort, but
yeah, because
Joshua did a little more. His punches were a little more powerful. He dictated it more with the clinching and shit, and he made Franklin kind of fight his fight. And it is what it is. But he still looked trash, and Wilder would knock his ass out.
Yeah, basically. Long story short.
Yeah, I mean, for Joshua now, Joshua, I think just needs to get out of his head. Like he's like, whatever he's going through right now, mentally, I don't know if he's just like he's frazzled or whatever, but. And they're talking about putting him back in the ring by June or at least or whatever, which is fine. He should be
against who? The guy who lost to Franklin last fight.
Yeah, they're gonna put him in there with White.
See that fight. To me, that's not even a fight. Like that shouldn't even be like why.
No, that doesn't do anything. And White didn't look good enough to where we're like we need to find out about it. Like
because it makes money.
Yeah, Joshua already took the man 0, so it's not like it's like I'm not looking forward to the rematch. The rematch was basically both of them with different mentalities. Like they were.
It's not even Donaire Darchinian 2 status.
Yeah, seriously. But Eddie's gonna be like, you know what? I have to get as much money out of Dylan White as I can before he actually does take a decisive loss.
Well, both of them now. Shit.
Yeah. So it's like
because Valin would beat him, Joyce would beat him. So
yeah, there was rumors it was White Chisora is in play 3 in play or some shit. So
I heard about
the UK heavyweights. They just kind of play
Yeah, I swear Chisora they keep remixing. Chisora's gonna be a vegetable. They keep remixing.
He might be more competent than White these days. And I didn't expect that a year ago. Would never have thought that. But even though they both need to just get out.
He has been more competitive than White.
He has been more competitive and competent, than White.
They need to. But then they all need they need to. Chisora needs to retire. White probably just
all of them. Like you take that whole era now. Like
that era is winding down, and Joshua needs to be focusing on more on better heavyweight fights. Like White doesn't do anything. Unless he's going for the knockout, because White's chin is weaker than.
If he needs a good little knockout to get his shit together, then hey, do it. But then at the end of the year, you got to follow it up with a better opponent.
Big fight. There's also this guy named McKean, Australian heavyweight. they might try to give Joshua. Obviously, Joshua's one of the money men in the division, so he can fight whoever, and we're gonna.
Yeah, but but right now it's just like he's still in this. He's still pretty much in his prime. So it's like and then plus two. We need to give him another chance. I do agree with Andrew about giving him another chance with Derek James. So I want to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like it wasn't a terrible.
That shit was terrible, bro.
It was terrible.
Y'all being some nice Nancy's.
I'll give him another chance. You know what I'm saying? I want to give him another chance in terms of
Because dude, it's like honestly, like y'all looking at it like I get it's a new like he looked worse than Dylan White looked with Buddy McGurk out of the complaining he was doing. So it's like, dude, let's not forget that Josh was a gold medalist, former unified. Like he knows enough, but like he should have already forgotten more about boxing than 80% of fucking boxers out right now.
Right, because dude was matched tough. Dude was actually matched tough in his career. Like he's fought.
That's what I'm saying. So he's had to overcome that and everything. He knows how to fight, but I don't even think he needs a trainer. He needs someone to just start screaming and yelling at him and be like, "Motherfucker, like you better beat this nigga ass." I honestly feel like Barry Hunter like has the damn type of energy he needs.
Right.
Like Derek James is good, but like I don't hear Derek James raise his voice to niggas.
Hell no.
but like dudes like Kevin Cunningham and Barry Hunter.
Yeah, that's true.
They be really and that's what Joshua needs. Like
yeah, you're right. Because
Joshua needs someone to be on some like motherfucker. You're like 6'5", 6'6", and you running from this nigga like 6 feet. You backing up from him. The wrong with you, nigga. Like
he needs his Manny Stewart Kronk, but yeah, Derek James isn't that. It's that vocal. Get your ass and come on, let's get this.
Hire somebody and just pay this nigga to repeat the last thing I said, but put emphasis and extras on it. If I say, yo, pilot, I need you to jab to the body and then go with the overhand right at the top, and then you gonna scoot out to the left,
jab the body, go top. Exactly.
Yeah, like god damn it, jab to the motherfucking body and hit this nigga upside the head with the motherfucking right hand. God damn it.
He needs a major pain. Pause. He needs
pause. But yeah, like that's what he need. That one nigga that was in Jeff Lacey camp back in the day that was always yelling. You know what I'm talking. You know who I'm talking about. I think he had the hat sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what he need more than anything. Cause like this shit ain't gonna do it. Like nothing can seem to light a fire in Joshua. And even at the end of the fight, you remember at the bell, like. He even tried to clinch the guy again, like nigga.
Yeah, and Franklin was like, and they had a little skirmish at the end of the fight because it was just like, because he took offense to that, and then, and then Joshua did get later. He not the in-fight interview, but he gave another interview later, like in his locker room and stuff like that. And it's I don't know where his mind is, but it's. Yeah, it needs to be more focused on the game, because it's he seems like his mind is very scattered these days, and it's probably it could be ego bruise or the fact that he's not on top, or I don't know, but yeah, dude needs to figure some shit out because
quickly.
Yeah,
he's looking like food because I know niggas is thinking he can get knocked out by anybody who just try to press him hard.
Any top 12 heavyweight, like I think Frank Sanchez, I'm jumped the gun. I think Jared Anderson giving some problems right now. I don't know.
Yeah, Jared Anderson might put his foot in his ass.
Yeah, and
you talking about bigger guys? Like remember, Franklin is Franklin's big. The dude's like I'm 5'10". Like Franklin's bigger than me. But he's small compared to these giant motherfuckers. Like Anderson and Joshua and shit, and he was able to put hands and stun and buzz Joshua. Imagine when you get the Wilders and the Furies and all these motherfuckers who's 6'5" and 6'6" and shit. Mm-hmm. Even Johnny Rice.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't tell me Johnny Rice can't land at least one good right hand and on Joshua and make us be like, what's gonna happen next?
He put some work in. I feel like on. I don't know. It's crazy, but heavyweight's not a dead division. You know, top 12, top 10, top 12 guys are good. You know, so.
Well, it's not
better than middleweight.
it's not a division with a lot of movement because
It's not a lot of movement, but there's talent. There's talent to me in there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, look, there's the Joe Joyce fight coming up.
Yeah,
And then
Joyce in a week, you know. Oh, they're coming. You know, Joyce is Zegnas.
heavyweights is decent. Like, it hasn't been the best, but like I said, it's just better than middleweight. Like, at least you get some type of fights at heavyweight.
right. You know, but yeah, I think right now it's just weird because right now heavyweights is kind of tied up because you know the man of the division is kind of doing his song and his usual song and dance.
He's on his shit.
Yeah, he's on his nonsense. So he's like, so a lot of the top heavy fights are kind of being like, are being held up for the time being. But yeah, no, Joshua. Yeah, I said I'm a big Joshua fan. But yeah, no, that was just one of those fights where it's just like, yeah, if he's fighting for the wrong reasons, I can see him getting knocked out again, like whoever he faced. I mean, it's not like White can't knock him out. White has a left hook, so it's not like White doesn't have the power. He can do. I mean, he stunned Joshua in the first fight before, like, so it's not like he can't do it. And that's
dude. But then we're gonna have a trilogy fight for Joshua and White. Oh man.
Yeah, I hope to God that's what's like. That's why I hope to God that this rematch doesn't come off because I just don't like. This is one of those fights that just doesn't warrant it because White hasn't done anything. So. But yeah, no, it was disappointing just to see him just not being shown, not knowing what the fuck he had to do.
Putting the foot in his ass, not putting the foot in the dude's ass. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
if he would have just finished him, like pause, like if he would have like stopped him late, then it'd be like, okay, cool. You had a little rough start, but Franklin's a capable guy. But nah, you like. You held and danced all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, it would have been good ending because I mean the card itself was pretty good. Well, it was pretty good patient until they milked it in the end. You know what I'm saying, Paul? Like
they milked it like 40 minutes until the end.
You knew it was gonna happen, but shit, still, it's like goddamn, it was good movement, and we had to wait 40 minutes to wait 12.
Even then, dude, we didn't get a lot of boxing from that card. For as good as the card was, it felt like we just got a little teaser of boxing. Everything was so dragged out. Like,
yeah.
Remember in the chat, nigga, like niggas is having whole days planned around this shit, and it's like,
yeah, because
like niggas ain't even have to rush home to see this shit.
I think the most memorable fight because there was a knockout on there, and it was kind of like even that fight was kind of mid, but it was still like at least somewhat memorable.
Yeah,
and then the Coffee Wardley fight.
Yeah, that was a bad reference.
The matchroom stoppage.
Yeah, that was a fucking matchroom stop. Shout out to Kawasaki Manfredo.
God damn it!
Like, that shit was damn. It was that level of bad, but it's like you can't let niggas just tee off with Killer Instinct, Marvel versus Capcom combos, and you don't do nothing back, whether it's hurting you or not.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it was unfortunate, but that's but yeah, the UK, they be stopping it for everything, just for the slightest things, unless you're the whole fighter. So I mean, but yeah, though it was a disappointing fight, for a lot of reasons. So it's just like, we wanted to knock out a highlight reel for ESPN or for our TikTok, and we didn't get neither.
I mean, but can you be mad that nigga let him hit him clean 4 times in a row, like? Against the ropes, he's not even putting his hands up. Wasn't trying to swing back. Like, come on, nigga, stop that shit. Like, get out the fucking ring and bring on some niggas who's actually gonna fight. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was the best Coffee look too.
Yeah, but I don't know what the fuck
good. I mean, again, I'm gonna be the fan of Wardley on here. I'm not high on Wardley like that. I think he's got some talent, But
listen, Wardley was looking like garbage. Honestly,
he was looking kind of bad. That's right. Yeah,
he was not gonna get pieced up by any true heavyweight.
He does get pieced up, but he ends up finishing it. Pause. But that was terrible stoppage. Yeah, that was very.
And you seen in the interview afterwards, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna give him a lot of jobbers. He got 3 jobbers lined up. We're gonna get him." Like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, y'all really standing behind this nigga, and this nigga really is not gonna fight nobody.
Yeah, for a bit, you know, until he's probably 30. He's like 28, so probably like a couple years. He can go jobber hunting for another year or two, you know.
Nah,
Yeah.
fuck all that.
No,
That's right.
they gotta keep him where he's at until something in the heavyweight division kind of opens up. And it seems like you can take advantage of.
Yeah.
Yeah, either that or he levels up by then. But
what you think of Ammo? Ammo looked decent, but he was kind of not really. He's actually he
ain't look good either, yo. I'm sorry. Like
he regressed. I think since he left, he leave. I think not Barry Hunter, but he left his old trainer Cunningham. I think I don't know, but he definitely regressed. It feels like
he was getting cut. Like he couldn't finish, dude. Like, and then he let the dude come back and was landing like 1-2s.
The one thing I do give him
middle.
He doesn't fade late because he be getting these stoppages later. He be like he doesn't lose power. That's the one thing I'll do.
He gets complacent though. Like
yeah.
Like he just like he goes into like a autopilot mode and he'll just walk you down
for no reason.
Give a fuck for no reason. Yeah. For no reason, and just take hits, and then it's like, hold on, okay, like, and then he just force a stoppage, and you're like, yeah, you could have boxed and did the same thing. Like, what was this all about? So
yeah.
Campbell Hatton, the only motherfucker who seemed like he improved. Shit.
That's right. Right.
The most random fucking person on the card improved the most.
Yeah, the most part. Yeah, the one we give him like so much criticism, but he actually knew the script. He knew what time it was. He's like, okay, look here.
Yeah.
He's like, I had some shit to do.
He understood the assignment for once in his life.
Yeah. Ended it with
props to him because he did what it did. Because I ain't gonna lie, it made me feel old and proud. Because when I seen it live, I was like,
yeah, damn, it's probably
just like his pops.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like, wow. I was like, where did I see this before? Like, oh, wow.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, so I was like, okay, bring on the next job. Okay, you did good, man. I was like, you did good, young lad. You did that.
Yeah.
So it's like
good, mate.
Oh man, but yeah, that card, man. It's like all it needed was just a Joshua knockout, and then it didn't deliver, and then. I know now Eddie's probably gonna, be on some spinster shit for the next couple months or whatever.
That card was bloody hell.
It was a chore to get through. Like, honestly, like that card drained me when it was done. I'm trying to think. I drank something, or maybe I had a little something to eat. I can't even remember.
It's probably a spot of tea. You had a spot of tea after the fights.
I think I did. Yes, sir. Cheerio.
Cheerio.
I was like, let me take a nap so I could get up and see this Ramirez Dogby fight.
Now,
nigga, I woke up at 2 a.m.
Good segue. Oh, you mean